Hey everyone, I hope you're doing good. So for to attempt the CMQ exam, I had these two resources. This book is the must to have, but it's not very thorough, and it has missed some important details in some topics. For example, there are three phases to ship to ship to stock kind of logistics, and like this book, it doesn't talk much about it. It doesn't talk much about it, but this one, the CMQ primer from Quality Council of Indiana, it has too much details for everything. It's probably more than that you need for this exam, but it's quite important if you really want to have the thorough understanding of the exam content. And uh, and like exam is gonna try and evaluate your understanding of it. But what I still feel lacking is that I still don't know, for example, which tool is a creative problem solving and decision making tool, and I don't know, for example, which tool to use for the to monitor the progress of a project. And believe me, the Gantt chart was not one in the options. And what I had was is the PERT, and the other one was the the decision making tree, and the other one was the QFD, and the fourth one was obviously the false one. So now I was left with the two choices: the decision tree, the one from the new seven new quality tools, and the second one was PERT. So I went to both books, read through them very quickly, and then I only had to eliminate it, and the only choice as well I was left with is the PERT. But I'm not really sure, is the PERT a planning tool or is the PERT a monitoring tool? So you gotta understand each tool for its own purpose. Like, if you have a quality project, if you are running it, you best know that in which phase you're gonna use what tool, and that's all. Like, that's the crux of this exam. And like, other than these two books, I had other training material from my friends, and thanks to them, they shared with me from their company trainings, and I was lucky enough to have good friends, and that was of great value. Like, they had I had like the use of Kaizen, the value stream mapping, and there was the five whys, and like a whole lot of lean content, and that was very practical and problem solving tools. So I really enjoyed that, and they were very helpful in attempting to pass the exam, really. But like, if you don't have industry friends, then you will need this one. This is a must to have, but not enough to have. So you will eventually need this one, the CMQ primer. And the way to prepare is, guys, you really have to find these questions. So the way I prepared it is that I read through this one end to end, cover to cover, like every single page I know. And if you're gonna ask me like what tool is where, then I just remember, like, I don't remember the page number, but I know like where is it gonna be in there. So I don't have to ponder too much or wonder too much, or look into the index. So this one, cover to cover, read it. And this one, you first attempt the questions in it. So each chapter has its questions, so you're going to attempt all the questions, write down all your answers on another sheet, and then see like what percentage of answers you get correct. And once you know, like you have, for example, 50% correct or 75% correct, then you start reading through. This trick was quite effective in my preparation for both CRE and CMQ, because then your brain is looking for exactly the right answer, the right stuff in the content. Otherwise, you would just be reading through it and might skim or skip or forget the really important stuff. So number one, there are three steps to it. Number one, read the book cover to cover. Number two, attempt the questions anywhere you can find them. Or yeah, in my opinion, you don't need like 4,000 questions, or you don't need to pay for $100 to get a CD for exam question or something. They are not really worth it. And number three, like attempt some questions, but not like 2,000 questions. They are not worth it. And number three, then read through the same book or a different book, and then go through it. You know, like read it with all the questions that you did wrong in your mind, and that will like hit the nail right in the head, in the right spot. And other than that, the Duran's Quality Handbook, that's a great resource. I had it in the PDF. I borrowed it from my teacher. So you can also, yeah, either buy it or borrow it from somebody else, you know. And yeah, that's too much to read, but certainly good to read. And last thing that you must remember, which quality guru did what. Like, and the CMQ primer has it in the table, and that's very beautiful. And the other book, the CMQ handbook, that's too concise, but that's really that really puts you into the mindset of a manager. Let me read you the most important lines from this book. Yeah, it's, I think it's on the preface. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, so it's talking about yeah, it's in the page, it's in the introduction, sorry. So it's on this page, thinking like a quality manager director. So as your usual duties, you will be, as a result, you might spend the majority of your time acting in the capacity of an engineer, and assume that mindset is studying for and taking the exam. That might not work well for you, and I guarantee it. A wider and higher level mindset needs to be assumed for exam purpose. Like, guys, if you're gonna take this exam, just think like a manager, and that's the only advice that you're ever gonna get. Take care, good luck, and bye bye.